Hello and welcome back to Blanket Board, a TTRPG edited actual play show created by Ambereen right here. As always, and me as well, I guess. As always, we play a variety of different systems in campaigns that are usually pretty short. We're talking 4 to 5 episodes that are usually 2 hours long-ish. And today, and for the next 4 weeks, we'll be playing in the heartbreaking world of Die, a system that was created by comics legend Kieran Gillen and Stephanie Hans, and published by Rowan, Rook and Deckard. And guys, for once, I actually stuck to the original setting. I'm lying. I fully am just lying to you right now. Our characters here today will be playing as newly appointed members of the London Symphony Orchestra. But before we get further into the story, I'm just going to lay down some ground rules. Die RPG is sad. It's sad.
Oh yeah,
okay?
it's a rule. Oh yeah.
This is definitely the darkest themed campaign that we have ever done on Blanket Board, and there is a possibility that you might find the content in some of the episodes triggering, so we will be adding a list of trigger warnings to the description for each episodes. That is something that we will be doing. Please check it out. Take care of yourselves. Feel free to stop watching at any point if you feel uncomfortable. That's it. It's a sad game, and we hope that the people who like sad things will enjoy it, but we don't want to make the people who don't like sad things more sad. That being said, I'm done with this intro now. Would each of my wonderful players please introduce yourselves?
I am Maz Hedgehog, returning Blanket Fort player. Aside from this, I'm also just a writer and performer in general. And I am playing the character of Mary Stella Chidozie, a Nigerian British bassoon player who is sad and Catholic and gay. And I think that about covers her main. She, her pronouns, both Mary Stella and then also for her persona, Teresa.
I'm Ambereen. I co-created this thing, so you see me all the time. I use any pronouns, and I'll be playing RJ, who uses he, him pronouns, and he's just a little guy in a suit. That's who he is.
And I am Ray. I use they and them pronouns. And I'm a artist, poet, and writer of games and zines and comics and things sporadically when I can make myself do it. And I am playing Ren today, Ren Wright. He uses they, them pronouns, and they're a clarinetist who is anxious and sad and gay. And their persona Falcon, who I won't say anything more about at this time.
Oh, I should probably say that me, Maz, I use they, them pronouns personally.
Thank you so much. Now, if everyone's ready, let's begin. We open with a wide shot of the Barbican Centre auditorium. Completely empty and completely silent. Lights flicker on as we watch a figure in a long leather jacket cross the stage. We watch them as they place some sort of indistinguishable object on 3 of the seats laid out in the orchestra. One on each side of the corridor that's splitting the woodwinds, and one at the very, very front, on the chair of the first violin. They slowly get to the podium, steps reverberating throughout the empty auditorium. They breathe in, breathe out, close their eyes, and step on. We focus on his face now, no, her face? We focus on their face. Late 20s, white, marked cheekbones, angular face, dark black short hair that's been slicked back with gel, ears covered in silver earrings and jewellery. And as their eyes open, a determined look replaces the doubt that was previously painted there. Leon removes her leather jacket and replaces it over her shoulders. She smooths down her perfectly ironed white shirt and opens the first 2 buttons, revealing a large silver chain necklace. She stands even taller now. She lifts her left sleeve, revealing 2 oppositely faced silver watches. She checks one, checks the other, readjusts the first one, and we hear her count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As she looks up, would you please tell me which one of your characters would arrive exactly early to this performance? Can you describe them and tell us about something that happened to you on your way there?
Mary is early. This is, her first performance as part of the orchestra. She's still not entirely sure if she should be here. Still not entirely sure if this is the right move, but she's here now. She, rents a tiny little studio way out in the sticks, and so left a lot of travel time. The journey was smooth. Whether that is a blessing or a curse, she's not sure, but she's ready to be here. She is in customary orchestral black. It is shapeless, it is frumpy, it is formal, and as she walks in, her shoulders are hunched over because she is far too tall. But as she sits, takes her place at her seat with her bassoon in her lap, she straightens out. This is, for good or ill, exactly where she is meant to be.
As she walks to her chair and her seat that she knows is hers, she finds on it a new reed, the piece of flattened cane that's folded in on itself that you put at the end of the bassoon, and it's bound together by a sort of brass wire and covered in lightly blue coloured thread that's been twisted around in a shape that you sort of recognise but can't place quite yet. Can you do either wisdom or intelligence to see if you can recognise what this shape is?
I'm gonna go wisdom because Mary, God bless her, is not particularly bright. So I'm gonna roll my 4 die. I have a 5, a 3, a 2, and a 1.
That is still a success, because the difficulty for this was 0. It takes a while. It has been a while since you've seen one of these, but you recognise a 12-sided die placed at the end of this sort of mouthpiece. And underneath this sort of new present was a crisp letter, and when you open it, it reads, "This is your die. There is no other die like this in the whole game. This is special. This is yours. Use it well, Godbinder." And we're going to cut to someone else walking in at that moment.
I think Ren tried to be early, was like, I'm going to be early, it's going to be great, and then was like, a series of accidents happened on their way here, as well as them being completely and utterly gripped by imposter syndrome that caused them to be not very late, but a little bit late. And on their way here, they were, they were wearing their, orchestra blacks. They're wearing black trousers, formal suit trousers, and a white shirt that's looking like it's sort of it's tried to be ironed, but it's kind of rumply and also looks like it's been worn a lot. And over the shirt, temporarily and unprofessionally, they have a big swamping black hoodie with the sleeves pushed right up. And over their forearm, they have what seemed like a kind of slightly ratty formal blazer that not, you can't really see it as they walk in, but on their way here they did get shot on by a bird. They are wearing their hair sort of to their shoulders. It's long, it's curly, crispy at the ends. Like they tried to get it straight, but then it kind of didn't work. It's worn pretty much over their whole face, so you can basically mostly just see their big hooked nose coming out of it and a kind of anxious expression, like, oh. Yeah. And they're gonna they're gonna try really hard not to make eye contact with anybody and head to their seat.
As you get to your seat, what you find there is the actual mouthpiece of the clarinet. It's new, and it is perfectly well adjusted for your style of play somehow.
Those
the
are
singular
spenny.
piece of cane is held against it with like a little brass mechanical contraption. But what catches your eye is the particular shape of the small gear that's been attached to it, and it rings a bell somehow. You think it looks like a D8. In a weird way, you've not really seen one. Again, it's been a while since you've like played any games. But you know, it's weird enough that the kind of like triangular shape, like pyramidal shape, is weird to have on the end of a mouthpiece. Underneath it is again a letter in like crisp, beautiful white paper, and it reads, "This is your die. There is no other die like this one in this whole game. This is special. This is yours. Use it well, Terra Knight." And we'll cut to the final person to join us.
RJ was driven here. Got here on time, maybe slightly early, but realised that other people, like, it didn't look like everyone else had arrived and wanted to minimise the chance that they'd have to, like, have some chit-chat beforehand, so waited till it looked like most people were in. The driver did try and talk to them while they just sat in the car, and they just kind of ignored them and played solitaire on their phone, on his phone, and just kind of sat there. And then when he decides it's been enough time, he like very purposefully gets out, closes the door, and strides off. He has like his hair is a bit shorter than mine, and is tied back in like a champagne coloured scrunchie, and he's got a pristine suit that fits him perfectly. And then it's got a like matching champagne coloured pocket square. And he also doesn't make eye contact with anyone, but it's mostly because he's like kind of looking above everyone and just goes straight to the first chair violin seat and does not acknowledge anyone else's existence.
What you find on your seat as you get there, like fully ignoring anyone else around you, is a beautifully stringed bow made out of snake wood. So it has like little red patterns and highlights of freckled gold in it. And it has like a squarish tip on its heel. And the screw to tighten the bow is just a perfectly cubic shape. And underneath you find a letter. And as you open it and read it, it says, "This is your die. This is exactly the same as every other die in this game. There's absolutely nothing special about this die at all. Use it, fool." And as all of you sort of look around, you don't really know where the present came from. You look up and you find Leon, the chief conductor, staring at you with a bit of a twinkle in her eye, and you can almost see a hint of a smile at the corner of her lips. You look around and catch the rest of the three of you. And as you look back on Leon, she holds up her like conductor's baton. I know words. And mouthing at all of you, pointing to the like oddly shaped end of her baton, she says, "And this one is mine." After this slightly surreal experience, where time has felt a little bit suspended, you all go back to your instrument, performance isn't going to start for a while. What do you want to do?
I think that Ren is like, having seen this thing on their chair, is like looking around basically to see if it's a prank or if it's someone making fun of them or like what's going on, like if there's a camera, if they're in the wrong place. And I think they're gonna glimpse RJ at the front and like quickly look away and like try and like just like hunker back down and like be like, oh fuck.
RJ is gonna think that maybe they gave it to who wrote the note because that's suspicious behaviour, and has also assumed from the lack of friendliness in the note that this was just a weird way to try and get in his head, but from someone who's just jealous. That's what it is.
Good.
So our darling Mary, like, thinks about the note, can't think of what it is or who it's from, kind of fingers the rosary in her pocket, considers saying a decade, decides against it, and doesn't think about how easy that decision was to make. And so then just, flicks through the sheet music, refamiliarizing herself with the pieces that she'll be playing, so that she can give the best performance she can.
I feel like we're also antisocial that we need something to make us talk to each other. We're all like, no, don't look at me.
You start hearing a bell kind of ring in the distance, and the oboe starts to play a perfect A, and the sound of 75 instruments tuning together fills the auditorium. And after a few minutes, you look up from your own tuned instrument to find the theatre packed to the brim with quiet audience members, sort of like silently coughing, and like chatting and calming down. And the lights in the audience start to dim, and it covers everyone there in darkness, and the spotlights turn on you. And you look up, and at some point Leon left the stage and you didn't see her, but you watch her walk back infused with charisma and cross the stage under thunderous applause from the audience members, and even some orchestra members who are just inspired to be here and start clapping on their own instruments. And she walks sternly across the stage and takes her place on the podium once more, turns to face the audience, bows deeply, turns back around, picks up her baton, looks into the eyes of every single instrument player one by one, seemingly lingering on the three of you. And then she raises her left hand, breathes in deeply, and you all close your eyes as she violently releases the thundering first four notes of Beethoven's Fifth. Emotions fill all of you, and as you slowly open your eyes back up again, you feel the tightening in your gut. You can't really shake the feeling that somehow something's wrong. And you start focusing harder and you look around you and you shudder a little bit. The auditorium is empty now. The seats are cracked and broken and the walls are like dilapidated and almost to the point where it seems like the building could collapse at any minute. And you stare around you and you notice two things. One, most of the orchestra players have started to vanish in a silent scream, their instrument clattering to the ground in a loud bang. And secondly, Leon is looking around, radiating. And as she grabs the handle of her baton and starts waving it around, her face stays the same, but you watch as her jewellery doubles in volume and thick black eyeshadow starts to cover her eyes. and her frame grows too somehow. She seems to grow like a good foot, and her shoulders really, really broaden, and her leather jacket seems to almost melt into her silver chain to become a like heavy, dark cloak held together by like an intricate silver clasp. You hear her say, a little bit surprised, "I can't believe it worked." And in an instant, she disappears in a twirl of 5 lines rising from the floor and up around her, and she's gone.
What's the space that we're in right now like?
It looks like, as you sort of look around, completely disorientated, like the same exact stage that you were on, as if you'd been frozen in time and it had been centuries.
So, Mary's hyperventilating. Like, just... I knew this was a bad idea. I didn't know what's happening, but, like, have I died? Am I dead? If I'm dead, then is this purgatory? Am I in hell? And it just, like, you know, jabs into her own thigh and is just like, okay, so I can still feel things? But maybe you can feel things after you're dead? Are we dead? Hi, oh, hello. Are we dead?
I think Ren is gonna like push out that chair with like, you know, when you push out a chair that you're sitting on and it has like a really awful deafening screech that like echoes around the whole room and you're like, oh no. So I think they do that and then they turn around like to the voice and be like, oh god, are we dead?
RJ's gonna carefully put his violin back in its case, close it properly, and then turn around and go, what the fuck? What are you guys doing? What's happened? What is this? Did you put like? Did you somehow drug me? What happened? What did you do?
I did it.
Is it to do with this bow thing?
As you start shaking it around, holding the bow and shaking it around, you feel yourself transform into something that I'm going to let you describe.
So, goes from 5'4" to like 6'2". Suddenly has like a lot of like gold makeup going on. The hair's no longer tied back, it's very out and wavy, very messy. The sides of the hair are shaved and there's like tattoos going down all the way around to the neck as well. Lots of piercings, wearing like a very flowy kind of top and a sort of side cape thing that's draped like a big scarf. Everything's very embroidered, everything's very like the clothes are like a deep purple, but all the embroidery is very gold. It's all very extravagant, in a very extra kind of way. In a way that you've never seen RJ go towards outside of pocket squares and scrunchies.
Do we see this?
Yeah. This is happening in front of you.
Okay. I think I'm gonna exchange a panicked look with Mary Stella and then do a double take, and instead of reacting to the insane thing that's just happened in front of us, be like, hang on a second. Mary Stella?
Ren?
I haven't seen you in fucking
long
years.
time. Are you well?
Not right now.
Of course not. Sorry.
What the fuck?
So I don't... That's... I mean... I don't know what's happening. And I'm really not... I don't... Why is RJ taller than me now? How did that happen? RJ, why are you taller than me?
I Also, quick little thing I forgot to point out. Used to be super weedy, is now built. is like Captain America level, just beefy. I don't know what's happening. We should just leave. I don't have any interest in talking to you. I'm going.
I think...
I don't know what you've done.
When you say, I don't have any interest in talking to you, I feel like it's not super obvious, but Ren kind of rolls their eyes a little bit.
And Mary Stella's just sighs. Like, RJ hasn't changed. The only thing I have that's normal is my bassoon. I'm gonna take care of it. So I disassemble it and put it in the case in a manner that is a little bit panicked. So I'm shaking things around a little bit. But into the case it goes, and clip it over, and then just kind of I was like holding the case in my lap.
As you're shaking around the bassoon, you feel a sort of weird tingle. It starts in your toes and then it kind of climbs all the way back up your legs and then up your spine, and then it settles at the back of your neck. And then when you look down, describe to us what you see.
You know, I think what you see is that old Mary Stella, who was already like almost 6 foot tall, is even bigger. Now 6'5", she was already kind of built. She's now like hunch, like absolutely fucking stacked. You know, her hands are previously actually pretty soft. Now, like soft musicians' hands are now like calloused and a bit scarred. Like they are working hands. You know, her hair that was previously like neatly relaxed and pinned back, you know, is now like locks, just like waist length, tumbling loosely, you know, and she's dressed in like leather and chainmail, and is just like turned into basically imagine if the Urukai were like hot lesbians. Imagine an Urukai, but like a Brooklyn stud. That is the vibe.
Yes, I'm dreaming of it.
It's weird. Like when it's kind of looking at hands and the clothes, and it's like, Hail Mary, full of grace, Lord is with thee. And I looks him in, and blesses the fruit of the womb, Jesus, and just says, a Hail Mary has no father, and nothing changes. Nothing changes. And it's like, okay, I'm here now, I guess. And you know what? I'm dreaming, and this is weird. The minute I'll wake up, and it'll be fine. But let's roll with it for now, I suppose.
Rena's like staring, like eyes flicking between the two of them, white knuckle grip on the clarinet, and then it's like, okay, you're doing your coping mechanism, I guess I will do my coping mechanism, and I start hands fucking shaking, taking the clarinet apart and putting it away.
In a similar fashion as you start playing around with this clarinet and you're like twisting it and like shaking it around, it feels a bit different for you somehow. It's not, instead of a tingle, it feels like a shiver down your spine. Something that is uncomfortable deeply. Yeah. But powerful inside. Describe to us.
Yeah, I would say I think they feel this first. I think when they start performing, like it's always this kind of ringing, this like tightly wrung knot inside their stomach. And it's sickening and they hate it, but they also like something about knowing that it's there is like, I know I'm alive and I know I'm here, and it's like it's like presencing and grounding, and this is like that, but it feels like it's bleeding into the rest of their body and like completely taking them over. I think what you see is like a shuddering, jittering change of like flashing from one thing into the other quite quickly, in different parts until it's all over. And I think what we're seeing another height raise, maybe not quite so dramatic, and a more like a kind of muscular like litheness, almost a wiriness. They're not like thin. They're like broad. They've got body, but it's like a really like still with a kind of leanness almost. The similar features, but a little more drawn and sharp and focused. Hair, instead of cascading in front of their face, pulled back into like a high ponytail, tight. And their hoodie kind of like comes apart in tatters and extends itself to where it's like a long tattered cloak that falls over them. But then underneath the cloak is just like gladiator straps, like shoulder arm straps, and like bandages around their chest and around their hands. And they look, after looking like scared and confused, realizing what they're wearing, they look fucking mortified.
Ren, are you okay?
Are you okay?
I don't know. Oh, I should have asked. RJ.
Yep.
Are you okay?
What about this situation is okay?
You don't have to be rude.
I just want to get I don't know where we are. I don't know what this is. I just want to get back. Can we stop talking about feelings and try and solve this?
Should we go outside?
Before
See
you
what's
go
outside this room? Like,
can all of you do, we'll call it like a group wisdom.
okay.
What do I have in wisdom? Is that a 2?
Oh no! We have made a dumbass group.
I've got a 6 and 2 5s.
Oh, I got a 6 and a 5.
I got a 6 and a 3.
What? Okay.
How are we doing?
The smart brigade is here. In that case, as you look around and you're all finally coming back to Earth, or wherever it is that you actually are, and you're staring at each other, and there's something familiar about this, and as all of you sort of watch each other and see yourselves, you remember this. You remember these characters. You played these characters like every summer years ago, and it does feel like a lifetime ago that this happened, but you're back in their shoes. But instead of being in the real world and then playing them, you've somehow ended up in their shoes with your full adult brain inside your childhood character.
I think Ren gets like caught by a little wash of giddiness that turns into like a big, almost goofy smile that then, as quickly as it came, like goes away and falls back into being like, oh.
And I think I see Ren's smile, and it kind of almost like a little bit infectious. So it's like I think Mary is kind of with the feeling of like when you're a kid and you've gotten away with doing something that you weren't supposed to do. And it's that, oh my god, I'm Teresa. I can't believe that I'm actually, holy goodness gracious.
I haven't thought about these in ages. And like an anxious look at RJ to like see if they're judging me.
RJ's kind of like looking at themselves and sort of looking absolutely miserable. They've sort of assumed that this is now a dream and they're just gonna have to wake up feeling sad and nostalgic and is just like, well, fuck this. Gonna have to figure out how to bury some stuff.
Does any of that show on your face?
It's kind of, so RJ always looks bored. Ali has always been more expressive. Like when RJ's been playing Ali, you get a bit more. You would used to get a bit more expression, and so there's like a bit of expression sneaking in of the like just deeply sad stress, but like trying to be hidden.
I think at like the glimpse of like a human emotion. Oh my god, that was a dice roll.
What does it mean?
No?
We saw you.
We heard the click clacks.
But I think they're gonna like look at your face, because I think they had assumed that you wouldn't care about what we had used to do together anymore, or had forgotten about it, or didn't give a shit. But you're like here and you're showing something, so they're like, I don't think they're gonna say anything yet. I think they're just gonna like look at you in a moment of like forgetting to be self-conscious.
I think Ali starts looking around for something to tie their hair up with, and it's just like, I can't fucking do this. No, fuck this shit.
As you look around, trying to ignore the both of them, something grabs your two legs from behind and tries to trip you and doesn't quite get it, but it's not because the strength isn't there, is because you feel the fingers crumble. And as you look around at what's grabbed you, it's another member of the orchestra, but their skin is now sickly pale grey, and their eye sockets have caved in on themselves. And they look up at you in horror and look mindless and genuinely with a look of like hunger for flesh in their eyes. And you know who this is, because this is the person you're usually fighting for these roles. This is the second violin. Her name is Jasmine, but this is not Jasmine right now. And before you can react, two others are gonna arrive from the side. Again, weird kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Dismembered. A bit dislocated in there, like the skeleton is crushed in a weird sort of way, and one of them is holding a really big cello, like a baseball bat, essentially. And the other one is holding a trombone upside down. And they're coming for you. And we're going to be rolling initiative.
Yay.
Cool,
And
so it's Dex, right?
Yes, so we're going to be rolling Dex, and then tell me how many successes you have, and if you have a better special success.
I have 1 6.
I have 2 6s and a 4, so is that 3 successes?
That's an insanity, yes.
Okay.
I got 553, so that's 2 successes, right?
Okay. I only rolled for 1. Oh my god. Okay, so you're all gonna get to act before any of the evil boys, because I rolled a 2 and a 1, and then I rolled a 3 and a 2, and then I rolled a 3 and a 1. So I'm doing great here, guys. But yes, I guess Ren, or shall I say Falcon, what do you do now?
I think, like, while they were seeing these, like, shambling musicians, just like a complete, like, sick, shocked, shuddering gasp, and, like, not even really able to scream because the throat is so dry, so just like a like kind of sound. But what pushes them to move, and this is like something they're really deeply unfamiliar with because they have always had like a freeze reaction to fear, but this time it's like a complete compulsion into movement. And I think they're going to come to several realizations, and the first realization is that they have weapons and the second realization is that they can use the weapons. Am I holding my sword?
You tell me.
Oh fuck, okay. They have like their scimitar sheathed and it's not super visible, but they also have like throwing knives strapped to their legs. And I think because they're more visible, it's going to be the throwing knives. So I think they're just going to like reflexively, reactively like hurl one at the there was someone with a brass instrument. Was it a tuba?
A trombone.
The trombone. Okay, yeah. We're going to hurl it at the trombone one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll dex in that case, because it is
Okay.
more dexterity than it is strength.
Got
at this
4
point.
dexterity.
Go ahead, tell me what you get.
I got 1 success and it was a 6.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm getting so many 6s. My luck is going to run out.
Okay, so you hurl the 2 knives that you have strapped to your legs to the one holding the trombone, and you see as she, like, it hits her square in the chest and she sort of crumbles to the ground and she's like coughing a little bit, but at least she looks out of commission for now.
So Ali's gonna kind of jump back and then pull from their back what looks like the size of a great axe but is a hammer, and just try and smash second violin in the face.
Go ahead, roll your strength.
Yeah. That is 2 5s in there. 2 successes.
Okay, you turn around and give one big swing of this hammer, and it comes crashing down straight on her skull, which sort of shatters into the ground. You are for sure, you know for sure, that she is out of commission.
I think for me, whilst this has been happening, I just kind of like could hear a like vaguely musical voice in the back of my head, that as I listen to it gets stronger, and I remember that it's the voice of the Star of the Sea. And I remember that way back when I was a kid playing this character, I had this thing called Salt Blast. And I figured that if we were really somehow ended up in this situation, it is worth a shot. So I grab my slightly absurd dice pool and give it a toss, and we have sweet baby Jesus. Right. So we have 3 6s and a 7.
Fuck me, I guess. Just fuck me right in the ass. Okay, tell me what your Salt Blast looks like as you absolutely shred to a million pieces This poor cello holding.
It is
creepy
just.
person.
It kind of is what it says on the tin. Like, I shove out my hands, and flying out of my hands are these like kind of crystals, like these big chunky crystals of sea salt, and they are bright and like they catch the light and they're kind of beautiful, and then they smash into their target and they become far more lethal than they are beautiful. And whilst this is going on, I kind of like feel the rush of like power and energy, and I have like this incredible singing in my mind, and as the last of the salt leaves my hands, I can taste the sea. Like, it's briny and not massively pleasant, like getting a mouthful of salt water. And it's like, well, that was something.
Yeah, I think Rena's like, oh my god, oh my god, did I just kill somebody?
I think they didn't look that alive to begin with.
I
don't know if that's
does
better.
that count
I don't
as
think
killing?
that's better.
Are there any more? And you can see Ali looks a little bit excited.
I was like, what the fuck do you mean are there any more? And then I'm like,
Roll wisdom.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the one who asked.
It's 2 2s.
It's 2 2s. You look around, and as far as you can tell right this moment, there's no one else in the room with you.
Just reluctantly put the hammer back.
I'm like, what do you mean, are there any more?
I don't know, these things came out of nowhere. I was wondering if there was anything else that we needed to hit.
No, I think I think that we're okay. I think maybe we should get out, get outside and try and, because we can't. I don't know where we are, but we're not. Should we leave? I think we should leave.
Yeah, let's go.
I want to get out of this room.
Look around again.
So yeah, I guess can we try to just like leave?
Yeah,
the
like,
Barclays Center.
Door.
Which way are you going?
I think Ali's like confidently walked towards the way they came in, like originally.
And Teresa follows.
As you pull the curtain to backstage, you're faced with just a wall where backstage would be, as if the stage had been enclosed in walls. And you hear on the other side of the auditorium, like down through the audience members, all the way in the back, the sort of like security exit, like fire exit. The light of the fire exit on the other end flickers on, and the door creaks open slightly.
I mean,
Is
we
it
can go that
empty
way, or I
space?
can smash through this wall. What do you want to do?
That's an exit.
It's an exit. Is there anything between us and that door? Like, is it just like chairs and empty room?
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
a broken down theatre down
Okay.
there. So all the chairs are in like various states of disrepair. There's some of like the backs are broken completely. Some it's just they're slightly wonky. All of the like fancy leather is ripped to shreds on most of them, or like really, really damaged and used. There's cracks in the walls, and the more you pay attention to it, the more it seems like this building is not structurally sound and might collapse, maybe.
Okay. I'm gonna go and like instinctively go and like get my knives and then be like, oh wait, no, I don't want to touch them. Out of this thing's body. And then look towards the door and like think about like feel frightened about crossing the room just because it's a big room and I don't know what's in the room, but I think we should go. I think we should just go out the door. I think we should take the door.
I'm gonna like head towards the door, but then detour to go get your knives out of the body. Just like pull them out and then pass them over to you.
Like, thanks.
And I think for me, I just do deep breath, square shoulders, and just start marching towards the door.
Yeah. And I'm gonna follow. Is who's in front? Are you in front? I'm gonna like walk slightly quickly to catch up to you and then be like, doesn't RJ seem like kind of into this?
I mean, RJ, God bless his soul, you know, has always had someone unusual life, and I would never dream of judging. But maybe he knew or something. I mean, of course he didn't. Of course he didn't. No, that's no. Maybe he's adjusting. He's adjusting more easily than we have, and that's nice. Actually, that's good. That's good. It's good.
Okay. And then I look at the knives in my hand and just like don't say anything. As I follow you through this theatre. This creepy theatre.
Ali sees them up ahead talking and like drops back a little bit further.
As you drop back further, you feel a hand like grab you from behind and just clasp you, like stopping you from screaming for help. Clasp your mouth and drags you down to like.
Do we get like seats. A perception type thingy at all to see if we notice?
So we're gonna do an opposed strength on this, to see how successful this stupid boy is.
That's 2 successes.
That's 2 twos. That's 2 twos. this is 2 twos. So tell me how you stop that from happening.
I like. Can I grab the arm and like spin around and just like kind of try and smack it to the ground?
Yes, you can. You can try. Do roll like an attack of some sort.
Can it be strength again?
It can be strength again.
Cool. That is a 5 and a 6.
Right. So
can I just
narrate,
smash this person to the ground?
You can just smash this person straight into the seats. It will make a noise.
That's fine.
Like the others will turn around at this point.
And just smack it to the ground and try and look at like what the hell it was. Was it just another orchestra member?
Just another orchestra member who now you don't recognise because you smashed their head in before you could have a good look at who they were.
I think I'm gonna like turn around, eyes wide, and then be like, we should run.
And it's like, okay, and we're like, RJ, are you okay? You look okay. When?
Yeah,
hurry.
You guys run. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna look around again to see if I can see anyone else.
Okay, roll a wisdom.
Alright. I'm so wise. I'm so goddamn wise. That's a 4 and a 1. That's a success, right? That's 1. I got a 4. There's a 4 there.
Okay. Yeah, with a success, as you look around you, you can see. So there's 75 members in an orchestra, right? There's 3 of you here. You've killed 4 already. Maths, however many are left, that's how many you're starting to see rise from below the auditorium.
6. If we've killed 4, there are 3 of us. There'll be 68 of them.
We should run.
Yeah.
Or we could try and take them.
We should run.
No, let's book it.
Fine.
And I think I'm gonna like hesitate and then grab them by the arm so that we can run. Grab him by the arm, sorry.
Okay.
Do your pronouns change as Ali, or are they the same?
They're the same.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll some dice. I'm about to roll some dice, a lot of them. And I will let you know if you manage to make it out before any of them step in front of you in the corridor, because there's only one corridor out.
Kind of love this image of us like scrambling through an abandoned, busted up theatre, like being chased by like a growing mass of zombies. That's so cool. Do we still have our instruments? Yeah, we do.
Up to you. You tell me if you still
Yes.
carry them around. Okay. That is a whole 6 of them out of the 68 that were left. 6 of them have risen from between you and the door, or wherever that was, and are now scrambling to get like to the corridor.
I go from being dragged to just running like towards that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And like I pull out a just giant like metal 2-handed hammer, and just like take a fucking swing.
Sure. Take
So that I'm getting morning strength,
Yeah.
and I have 3 dice in my strength pool. Don't fail me, please. And we have a 6 and 2 5s.
Okay. Tell me how you get 2 of those 6.
I could have done really just like a massive like swing. I think I really just kind of like busted 2 heads like melons. So just gone 2 lots of heads going down in one sweep, and then bringing it back round. So just like hit the decks.
Cool. At this point, 2 of them are gonna take swings at you, and since you've hit last, Teresa, they're gonna come for you. But they're basically just like scrambling with their long, gross nails that they have. Okay. Okay, that's wait, what's your defense? Defense is 1. Yeah, so one of them you manage to like kind of move past, and it hits right like below here, sort of. And the other one is gonna like manage to claw at your chest, and is gonna take 1 guard with it.
Okay. In that case, like for the one that kind of like she's like taken a swipe at my chest, this is like almost the muscle memory that Teresa would have kind of kicks in, and I am just gonna go straight in to like try and grab and like lob the zombie off me.
Go ahead. We're gonna do an opposed strength.
And okay, opposed strength. So 3 dice. A 5 and a 4.
It's a 5 and a 6. So you don't manage to get the hand off of you right now. What are the others doing?
And I think I'm gonna get out my cutlass and just keep running and don't really stop and try and do some swipes. Yeah. That's melee, so it's still a strength,
Still
right?
strength. Yeah.
I got only 1 success, but it's a 6.
Okay, so we'll do what we did last time, which is you do manage to get one out of commission. Tell me how it happens.
I try and like slice it clean through the neck.
Nice. You manage to do so, and it tumbles to the ground, and one of them was going to act now, but because you sliced one of them to the ground, it is your turn, Falcon.
Ren is like flickering between 2 states of mind, right? Like where Ren won't say shit to anybody, and Falcon, who absolutely will. And I think they're kind of like in a place where they're still a bit disoriented, and they can't quite remember like what weapons they have on them. And one thing I know is that my weapon, I think Falcon knows and Ren doesn't, is that my weapon talks. So I'd love to hear from my weapon in order to remember that I have it.
Okay, you think back to this sort of ancient power that you think you remembered you had back then, and your hand, as it sort of hovers over your side, you hear, "Come on, you know you want to take me out. Come on, let me play. Come on, come on, Falcon. Come on.
And
you know what'll happen if you don't use me."
I think they like things are happening really fast. They briefly like look around them in shock, and then their hand just like instantly goes to like their side where the sword is.
Fine.
And I think we're gonna like quick slash with it. It's a scimitar, a curved scimitar, with like a long spike on it, and it's made for like slashing while like moving really quickly, so like running or going past something. So I think it's just like a super sharp, quick strike.
How scared do you feel right now?
I don't think I'm like at peak height of fear, because even though this is a new situation, I think it's like it's confusing and it might not be real. So I don't know if the fear is like either a 1 or a 2.
Probably a 1. 2 is quite intense. At
Okay,
early
so it's
levels
a
you
1.
can only get to 3, so 2 is, you're already like proper distressed. But
Okay, 1.
1 is
yeah.
like the human reaction to the unknown.
Yeah. So like really scared, and like Ren is like, this is the most scared I've ever been, and there's something in the back of their mind that's like very Falcon, that's like, no, it gets worse than this, babe. We got 2 6s on the d4s, and we got a 5 on the d8.
Okay, with that, you do manage to get all the rest of them. So the one that's attacking Teresa, and then the other 2 that are still scrambling.
Yeah. So just
So that's how you
like
do it.
like a very like a quick like reaction slash as they take, like even as they take it out, it's like a slash through one, and then like a really like a sort of almost quite frenzied like run around to like get the other ones. How many were there left?
There's 3 left.
Okay.
So you get,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
hell yeah.
I think Ali fully turns to you and like puts his hand up for a high five.
I'm gonna keep running.
And I think when Marixella sees that Ren is still running, she's like, okay, well, I guess let's go. And just like these kind of specifically like Teresa's run is like, you know, in how in Lord of the Rings movies, Viggo Mortensen runs incredibly chaotically. Like, just do not know how the limbs are functioning. It's the run of somebody who is used to running for like a purpose, but not like elegantly.
As you're running out and dashing out, Falcon, you were the first one out, so you do actually manage to get out the like double doors that swing open, and you end up outside, and you look around, and the building is fully crumbling in on itself. And as you're running out, each of you take a guard from the building collapsing on itself.
Okay. Wait, do we lose a guard or we take a guard?
You don't, because you managed to get out first.
Oh, hooray!
The other 2. But the other 2
my
that
guard
like
is down
sort of
to
lingered.
1.
Oof. And you managed to still make it out alive and safe, and or at least you think you're safe. And when you take a second to gather your bearings,
Yeah. I think I'm
Yeah,
going to
that's the
feel
word I'm
really
looking for.
guilty for getting out first.
Oh my god!
You look around and you're in like a completely barren, covered in light grey ash wasteland of like post-apocalyptic London. Everything is covered in like grey ash and it's pretty silent, but there's like the wind whistling through the broken windows of the tall buildings next to you. And yeah, you've ended up here.
This is so vivid because like Barbican is very like statuesque and brutalist, so that's so cool. And then also like in the present it's like covered in plants. Is there like no plant life? It's just grey and like totally barren.
Yeah. It does feel like things have been dead here for a while.
Oh, creepy.
In this moment, like, look, check that Ren is okay. RJ is okay. And so I just like almost kind of just like crumple.
Yeah.
I fall to the floor. Is like, what? Kind of almost like my mind is finally catching up to what's happening, and that it's actually happening, and so just kind of like shut down a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, nada.
Ali kind of looks like that the building like hitting him kind of knocked the boredom out of him a little bit. Like, looks like there's a smile. There's a bit of a smile. It's not trying to be a smile, but it's like not fully going away. And like, if are you like physically crumpling, or are you just like mentally crumpling?
Like when kind of I collapse to the floor. I'm like sat, with like 1,000-yard stare of somebody who I'm a bit shell shocked.
Yeah.
I think Ali just like comes and tries to hook her hand under your arm to like try and pull you up and be like, we gotta keep going. I don't know what you're doing.
Where do we go? There's nothing here. Like, if this is London, if this is London, that means that like everything is gone. Everything's gone. Where do we go?
Who the fuck knows what's happening? But there's dead people in there. So, and you guys wanted to run. You said no fighting. So we gotta go somewhere where there's less dead people trying to follow.
Wait. Leon was here. Remember that there was the thing. Do we find her?
Maybe she knows what's going on. Or something.
Okay, let's go to Leon's. Let's go. Let's move. We've made a decision. Let's go.
Okay.
Do you think the cars still work?
Now fully you're in the lead. Because the two of us are busy having panic attacks. You have to make decisions now.
I have a 2 intelligence and a 2 wisdom. There's no thoughts happening here.
So do I, mate.
Okay, so I have. So, as I also think, I remember that, like, I have this relationship with the Star of the Sea. And, like, okay, if you want to find life, then I guess head toward the river. And can I use detect water to try and figure out the way towards the river?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet. Awesome, with my slightly absurd dice fall. And we have ourselves 2 6s. I'm not like fully on my feet yet, so I just like press my hands into the ground. And just whisper, Holy Mother, Star of the Sea, where are you? And I get it's almost like an internal compass spins and points in a direction.
Okay. Your eyes kind of fog over for the other 2. Almost like the wave, what's the word I'm looking for? The like wave mist, the white bits at the ends of waves.
Sea foam?
Yeah, sea foam. As if sea foam was like covering you in like covering your eye in like a wave, and your head kind of goes back as you do this prayer to your god. And the compass that you feel in yourself spinning, it doesn't stop spinning, and it doesn't stop spinning, and it doesn't stop spinning. And at first you're a bit confused and disorientated, because you know there's water around here. You know there's water in London, and you know that even further away there's oceans and stuff. Like, it shouldn't be spinning like that forever. But as you're getting really confused, you feel a presence over your entire body, really towering over you. Like, we're talking hundreds of feet high, kind of enveloping you almost in a wave feeling of it's cold and it's uncomfortable, but it feels safe to you specifically. And you hear a bit of a whisper in your ear, and it says, "Oh, my dear, it's been such a long time. I'm glad you've called for me. I'm afraid I can't help you right now. It seems like you're locked in an area and you've not quite found the door yet. But as soon as you have, I'll be back and I'll show you. I'll show you where the water is. Find the door." And as you come back to yourself, you have like 2 tears falling down, and almost unnaturally they fall, and they seem to be falling all the way to the ground and then engulfing into like the little nooks and crannies of whatever's left of the floor here. And it looks like it's showing you a direction.
So said that find the cave, was it?
The door.
The door. Find the door. Find the door. Find the door. We're still not out. We're still inside something. We need to find another door. And I'd kind of point in the direction that the droplets are sending me, be like, that way. It's that way. It has to be.
I think.
Witchy shit, let's go.
Do I notice that you cried? I think I'm gonna say I did, but I think what I'm gonna do very falteringly is like just like touch your shoulder, and I think it'll be like up,
because freaking huge,
but not look at you and be like, okay, let's go.
I'm okay. And I just like start marching with great purpose and a certainty that I can't quite believe I feel. It is kind of something that I've been missing for a long time.
I imagine that we walk for like 5 minutes in silence, and feel free to like say this doesn't happen because I don't know your characters, but like 5 full minutes in like weird awkward silence until I'm say like, so we made this world, or this is the world that we thought about, right?
Ali was like swishing his cape a little bit, his little cloak thing, and was just like was just doing that, and it's like, yeah, it's the one from when we were younger. I don't know how that happens. I've decided I'm not asking questions.
I guess
But like, what do you remember about it?
Everything.
Because, really?
I don't think about that time. So I can't, I don't remember, I don't remember anything.
Everything?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't. And like, at that point, Teresa like just starts marching faster. It's the note, I am not thinking about this today. I refuse. Let's just keep on going.
Speed walk to like be keeping up, but also be kind of talking to Annie, who I'm assuming is also keeping up. I don't know, but like, so if you remember everything, then you know shit about what's here.
I mean, I assume this is not what it looked like. It wasn't like apocalyptic London. I've said this confidently, and then I realised it might have fucked with everything you planned.
No, absolutely not. Don't worry.
Cool.
Basically, feel free at this point to tell me if you think that this is something that you would have played in back in the day, or if this is something more twisted to get you to a place that you played in back in the day.
I don't think we would have made it that twisted. Sorry.
Yeah. I was going to say something really similar in that I like it's got all the things in it that we made up, but it's like worse.
Yeah, like, so I remember the things, but it wasn't quite like this, you know?
Yeah.
You didn't say if you remember. How much you remember. I mean, I assume you've also bits. Just decided to forget it.
Yeah, I mean, remembering it's hard. Remembering it's shit, because, like, I don't know, when we were kids and we were having fun and it was nice, I guess, and we thought life would be easy and fun. And thinking about that is kind of fucking embarrassing. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we were young. We were foolish. We were children who did foolish things. But we are here now. And never mind. And like, Marcella doesn't finish the thought, but thinks maybe this is a chance to be foolish again.
Yeah.
I don't think I did foolish things.
Well, good for you.
Of course he didn't. Sorry, that was ungenerous. I'm glad that you didn't. I guess I was a foolish child. I was a foolish child. We're not children anymore, so we need to get out. Where? Anyone see a door? Anyone see a door?
It was fun though, right?
I guess it was all childish foolishness. So I guess not, if that's what that is instead. So yeah, a door.
Yeah, a door. I don't know. I can see broken windows. I can see doorways. Is this like a literal door or like a metaphorical door?
Are you asking me, or are you putting it?
I'm asking Marcella, I think.
I don't know. I guess could I roll wisdom, I guess, to do a like vibe check to see if where we need to get to is nearby.
I mean, you can do some sort of check to see if you've kept up with the droplets.
Okay.
Oh, so
Yes.
they're like leading. Okay.
Yes, I will do that. And I guess that would be wisdom?
Sure. You know what? Sure.
We have... Sorry, one of them landed on its side. I'll let that go. We have a 4 and a 5.
Okay. So you have managed to somehow keep up with the little droplets going down this street, and they seem to, at some point, after you've gone down this like long road, take a sharp left, and then you lose track of them. But as you kind of run after them and look, at the very back of that street, sort of hidden kind of behind buildings that have crumbled forwards onto the street, right behind that, you find the only bit of colour you've seen in a while. And it does look like a door, but a sort of like whimsy door that's a bit too small for adults to actually walk in. And it's like covered all around in like fake plastic vines, and on it are like badly painted colourful flowers. It's just like wooden door, and it has stuck on it old kind of drawings of children playing different instruments, badly drawn, like children's painting other children, but it seems to radiate light, this door, specifically because you're in a grey ashen wasteland. You've not seen light in a while, and this is there, and the colour exists there.
Do these remind us of drawings that we did?
Yes. Yes, they do.
Time to feel worse. Time for all of our characters to feel worse.
Yeah, so does anybody... Can anyone see the droplets? Because this can't be it.
What are you on about? It's brightly coloured, everything else is grey, you want a fancy door. This is the door. Let's open the door.
And... Okay.
Alright, I'm opening the door.
Oh, what the fuck? Sure. Okay. Let's go through the door.
Okay.
But then I think like some of the magic of it is like I'm like embarrassed and feeling weird about being with these two people and then immediately fucking up. But like the joy of the door, I think, is like it's caught my eye. It's seeping in. It's exciting.
I think for me, I like the door. I know that I shouldn't. I know that there be dragons. But you know what? I never want what I should. So, may as well.
Let's go.
I point at one of the drawings and go, you couldn't draw violins for shit.
Fuck off.
So savage.
It said jovially.
I think they say fuck off really jovially as well, and then they're like, who am I?
And I'm just being like dour.
As soon as you touch the door, you're filled with warmth inside, in a way that like nostalgia can fill people with warmth when it doesn't absolutely shred your heart.
Yeah.
And you're not entirely sure what compels you to, apart from the obvious colourfulness and like thing that you recognise. And you walk in and it's here exactly as it was all those years ago. The rehearsal room that you would lock yourselves inside to play this game using your instruments. It hasn't moved.
Is this a fucking joke?
I left that behind.
I'm going around like, hey, look at it! And I'm like picking up things that I remember. I'm like, do you remember this? Do you remember this?
No, I grew up. I got older, I got better, no.
Alright.
No, I don't want this anymore. I can't want this anymore.
That seems like a lot.
That doesn't sound like you don't want it.
I shouldn't want it.
Who says? I mean, other than everything, but like, who says?
I live to love and to serve. Music has to be more than this childish, wonderful. Never mind. We're here now. Is this the way out? Is this the way home? We need to get back.
I think I'm like stuck between wanting to seem like an adult and also really wanting to like look at all of the stuff that Ali's like looking at really excitedly. So I think I'm just like,
I think I'm gonna like come up to you and kind of whisper, and I'm like, what? Music isn't anything. This was, and then just like walk away and just be like, and carry on.
no, I don't get you. What does that mean?
Nothing. And I know you don't.
No, what does it mean? Shit, sorry, fuck. No, yeah, I don't get you. No, I never will. Whatever.
Yeah.
We're different kinds of people.
You did decide that, yes.
I decided that? Yeah. Cool. So glad we're all here together.
Could really do with something to fight. Yep.
I think, like, Mary Stella sees something like really small and silly, like a particular crack in the skirting board, or, you know, like gory patch on the wall, and it's like, I'm really here. I'm really I'm happy here. I missed you guys. I shouldn't have, but I did. I don't want to go back. We should figure out how to get home somehow, I guess.
I missed you guys too. You know, when you say you shouldn't miss us, it kind of feels like shit. You know that?
I'm sorry, I'm just not
Yeah.
meant to. I'm in the world, but I'm not. I shouldn't be of it. You guys. With you, I was of the world.
That's the thing about all three of us, right? Like, we all think we're so fucking special. Like, I think I'm worse than everybody, which is the same as thinking that you're better than everybody. I don't know. It's just the same shit.
I feel like you guys keep
But maybe
deciding
we're
what I
just
think.
normal. I don't know what you think, but maybe we're just normal. That's my point. Maybe we're just normal. I say, looking like someone's like 13-year-old OC that they drew in their textbook while they were at school after watching too much anime.
I know I'm not special. I tried. I tried to be, but I guess I want and I want and I want and I don't want. I waited for any of you to say or do anything. And so when you didn't, I thought that I could be... I went to the World College of Music.
Yeah.
I graduated. But nothing after that, almost nothing after that felt as real as this does. And this felt better. I prayed to come back here and I didn't and I couldn't, and so no, I shouldn't want this because this isn't meant for me. It was never supposed to be meant for me, but here we are. So we need to get out. I need to get back. Because the Feast of the Assumption is coming, and I promised to do a reading. So can we go home? Can we go back?
I'm sorry that you were waiting and you didn't hear anything.
It doesn't matter. Let's find a way. I mean, if this is the old rehearsal room, there should be another door here somewhere.
You look around and it looks like all of the kids' drawings on the walls are being replaced. So you've walked in through the door, so there's like 3 walls sort of in front of you, not counting the one behind you. And all of the like fun little tidbits of memories that were there get replaced with like newspaper clippings and like interview pages and like little local concerts at churches and like diplomas of various schools of music start littering the wall. And as you walk around, you notice that one of the walls is everything that Ren has ever done. One of the walls is everything that Mary Stella has ever done. And on the busiest, largest wall is everything that RJ has ever done. It overflows on the wall that's behind you. It's all of the fucking Forbes under 30 8-page interview with like pictures of RJ just doing like this.
I was like, Ren was loving looking at these drawings, just wanted to like look at them forever, even though it really hurt. And I think now that things are changing, they're like, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Merrick Salah's like looking at the wall and is seeing everything that she's done, and like feels a swell of pride that she can't even. It's the kind of thing that's like a swell of pride, and then feels ashamed that she doesn't feel ashamed.
Yeah.
It's like, I shouldn't be displeased, but I am. Look at everything that I've done. Even with the like 3 years that I took out, I'm still here, and it's still beautiful.
The guilt that you're used to feeling so strongly that you can't have this pride towards your achievements, you feel somehow that here it's enveloped by a kind of like cold hand, and it gets like grabbed and then taken out of your heart. It almost physically releases the pride that you don't usually let yourself feel. But here, something somewhere that was really cold has given you permission.
And so yeah, just look, and very much like within myself, without like, it hasn't even occurred to me to look at Ren's or RJ's wall because it's not about them. And it's like, I remember that concert and that recital and that review, and I'm just like taking an incredibly self-indulgent trip down memory lane.
Ali, who was like bouncing around looking at things, like when the stuff starts changing and like realizing what it is, kind of all of the energy kind of drops, and the sort of the bored RJ face starts like expression comes back, and he just turns so that he's not facing his wall and starts looking at your twos instead, and just starts like idly having a look through with like vague interest, but like, yeah, still with the bored face, but being like, oh okay, cool, interesting, yeah. Nice. Just
Ren feels so fucking ashamed, like deeply, deeply ashamed. And I think they can't bring themselves to look at their board. They've seen everything on RJ's board already. There's no point looking at it again. They're like curious, really curious about Mary Stella's board, but I think just like anything is gonna make them feel so much and like so bad that they're just gonna like hunch their shoulders and cross their arms, look at their feet and try and get through it. Are we walking through a space, or are we just standing and the space has changed around us?
Currently you're standing around. You're standing in this room. There's no other exit currently apart from the one you've just gone in, and it's locked. It's
nowhere
locked
to go, you. So I'm just gonna like dissociate.
Everyone roll a wisdom check.
I've got a 6, a 5, and a 4.
I've got a 2 and a 4.
I got 2 5s.
Okay. RJ, you're not super excited, and you're even a bit ashamed somehow that this is what your life is. You can't help but look around and see that yours is vastly, vastly more impressive than the others, but that doesn't help with your like kind of like lingering feeling that you're missing something. You see it all of the pictures, all of everything, and it feels weird because this is more stuff than even your family would have. yourself. Like, this is more memorabilia about your career than anyone has ever collected in one space. And you sort of look through the photos with Beyonce, and you remember this like concert that you did, that you remember doing the audition, and like it was fine, competition was kind of bad anyways, and you did the concert and it was just like every other concert. But something that strikes you is that you look around, and on Ren's board you see the same leaflet, but you don't remember seeing them there. Now, Ren, you're looking at everything and you're a bit overwhelmed, really, by what you're finding here. Obviously, you immediately spotted the leaflet, and we'll get back to the two of you in a second. Mary Stella, you see something a bit different. What you see on your wall is all like pinned together in a stack in a corner. A bunch of letters addressed to you. There's maybe 5 years worth of letters that, like, it at the start, maybe if you look at the dates, it's every week, and then it spreads out. There's hundreds of them. And I guess we'll get back to what you do with the letters in a second. What are the two of you, RJ and Ren, doing?
I think they didn't try and take it down, but it was the only thing they looked at. And I think they met eyes and then went back to, like, being really shut down.
I think
so. If you're not going to say anything, I'm not going to say anything.
I think I'm going to, if you're not taking it down, I think I'm going to go over and try and have a closer look at it to see how you were in that.
Yeah. And I think it just says it was like the understudy to someone who was barely on stage, like a really small role. But it was like, but also of everything that's on that wall, it's one of the biggest things. It's one of the most like important achievements. And like, from your perspective, it's so small. And it was something they were kind of proud of. But also, I think, like, I mean, they're not looking at it.
I think Ali doesn't really clock that it's any more or less impressive than the rest of your stuff, the stuff on your wall. Just kind of sees it and is like, okay, so they were there. And didn't say anything. Good to know. I didn't know they were there, but they obviously would have known I was there. Good to know. Cool. Just kind of...
Yeah. I genuinely don't think they'd say anything. So we're just going to have some unspoken stuff, I guess.
Ali's just kind of moved on and is looking at Mary Stella's wall instead.
Okay. Mary Stella.
So, I see the letters, and I go, when I, like, start skimming through them, like, picking some up, giving them a skim, reading the next one, reading the next one. What do the letters say?
The letters, firstly, the thing that you notice, because you got so many sixes, it was ridiculous, is that they have been opened before, and they all have a return to sender stamp on the back of them. Which is rare, because you don't usually open a letter and then return to sender. And what they are just sweet letters of friendship and like sharing, and just like, dear Mary Stella, today school started and all I could think about was the wonderful times that we had at summer camp. I try to move on with my life, but the only thing I think about is you. And I really hope desperately that you can join me next year as I come back for my final year at the summer camp and we can all meet back together with the gang. But I'm mostly excited to see you. Love, Leon. And that's sort of the first ones are all kind of little journal entries of what Leon's up to. Oh, I went on holiday. Oh, I managed to take a day off practicing today. Can you believe what it did to me? I feel so free now. I feel like I can climb my mountains again. And then progressively they get sad. Oh, I hoped maybe you would find it in you to respond. I thought what we had was special. And then further along, it becomes bitter. It becomes,
Oh my god.
I thought you were better than this. I really didn't think that you would let your parents get between us and what we had. It was important to me. And now that I can clearly see that you didn't care as much, I feel like I have to find it in me to let you go. But not right now. And it continues like that for another couple years after the bitterness starts to seep in, and it is basically all of the achievements, kind of the life story of how Leon became who she is now. And it kind of stops to a date that's a couple of months ago, and it's like, hi, Mary Stella. So I guess I'm chief conductor now, which is weird. I think you would probably tell me that this is what I was always meant to do, but maybe it isn't you telling me. Maybe it's the image I have of you that's telling me that. You probably haven't thought of me in years. I'm going to invite you to an audition. I hope you say yes. Love, Leon. And that's the last one that you see in this pile of hundreds of letters that span truly a decade of life.
My god. It is like devastating. Like, just, you know, Mary Stella had assumed that Leon that it meant a lot less and that it was meaningless. You know, had waited for a letter, waited for a phone call, for something, when it hadn't come, had like, okay, so it's a sign, time to move on. And it's like, you know, she knew that her parents checked her mail. That was normal. But usually she just like got a bunch of open letters from like the bank or whatever. And so there is like the beginnings of rage that she doesn't know how to have, because she isn't really ready to acknowledge yet. But it's just like, you know, one of those days where the world has shifted a bit, and maybe more than like anything else that has happened, more than literally growing like for like nearly half a foot and getting a personal beeline to a technically pagan god. This is a thing that it's like, fuck. And the dam breaks. And she cries. And she cries. And she cries in the kind of bone shaking, demon coming out of your mouth, howling sobs that just like, even when they stop, she's still just shaking and shaking and shaking and feels like a grief and rage, and it's just so completely overwhelming. Hey, how could you do that to me? This is where we're starting.
I think that kind of crying is like just gonna shake Ren out from inside of themselves, and like all of their fucking petty angst and like supposing about someone else and how they feel about them and their inferiority stuff. They just want to like notice their friend and like be with their friend, and like with this feeling that like not even knowing if it's okay for them to be there or if they're intruding or if they'll be wanted, just like standing next to her and like being present.
I think Ali's kind of like almost like looks more expressionless than you've ever seen them, and you realize that the boredness was an expression and this is complete blankness. And if Mary Stella doesn't stop him, we'll like try and figure out what's going on by looking through the letters.
And yeah, no, I kind of like grab them and I hold them, because like this, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of look at you with a face of like, what the fuck are you doing? But really briefly, and then go back to, yeah.
We have to find Leon. We have to find Leon. We have to find her now.
As you come to this realization, you feel the room kind of twist on its axis a little bit, like not enough to make you lose your footing, but enough that you feel it creak in one direction, weirdly. All the papers fall to the ground, and then the walls become just like a huge box of crackling, what am I trying to say? Monitors is the word I was looking for, sorry. Crackling monitors that at first are a full blank white, and then it crackles and crackles and crackles, and then there's just a face of a clearly like AI generated version of Leon that is like to all of my players. To go home, all players must gather together and each say, "The game is over." To stay, all players must gather together and each say, "The game continues." Once a decision is made, it is final. Be aware, as a foreign entity, your presence here has destabilized reality. If a decision is not made, this world will end, and all inside will perish. As long as a unanimous decision is made, the realm will continue. Those who are dead. Those who are dead. Those who are dead do not get a vote. And the image turns to pitch black, and you're now in pitch darkness inside of this room.
We have to find Leon.
We have to find Leon.
I don't know if I want to go back though. But yeah, we have to find Leon.
I don't even know how to find where we are now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I could try smashing.
I am gonna hold my die. So holding the die, Thrones, you know things that cannot be known and must not be known. Things that may break a human mind, but you know them. Thrones, where are we?
You feel two tentacles wrap themselves sort of like across your body in an embrace that doesn't feel super nice because it is a bit slimy, but it feels reassuring, like you're protected here. Something bigger than you, something bigger than this realm, is embracing you right now. And the voice in your head this time says, "Child, you have entered the world of Symphony.
Thrones. You know, and you see. Where is Leon? My friend Leon. Where is she?
You hear again. A third tentacle comes to wrap itself around you, and you hear, Leon is protected by spells stronger than even I have access to here. But I think Miss Daniel, yes, she will have a map. And the tentacle sort of goes off of you and then cuts itself off, slimes against the wall that is now pitch black in a weird sound, and rips itself into the wall and shreds, almost like a shredding of reality, into a sort of magical foresty thing? You're not quite sure from it. And you hear in your head before you go, you owe me one. And with that, we will end the first session of Symphony. Blanket Fort's take on Die RPG, the fantasy heartbreaker. I hope everyone enjoyed this first session. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to support us, we are at Blanket Fort RPG everywhere. Shoot us a message of encouragement, like our posts, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And if you want to spend a few pounds, you can do so on our Patreon, patreon.com/blanketfortrpg, I think. It will be linked here. Right here.
Why are you doing that to yourself?
Patrons get, I don't know. Patrons get bonus content, and episodes early, and I just wanted to take just a few seconds to thank two white men, which is out of character for Blanket Fort, I am aware. Firstly, I want to thank Greg, who introduced me to the comics and then the game, and he chatted to me about it for long minutes, so thank you, Greg. And secondly, Josh, my very best friend in the entire world, who not only listened to me ramble about this game and this campaign for months now, but also bought me the rulebook that I have, and even got it signed for me by the author, and also got me the D20 that I've not yet used, but will be using for the rest of this campaign. So thank you. And that's it. We will not be mentioning white men anymore. Please subscribe and tune in next week as our heroes embark for a journey that they are not quite prepared for. Bye! Dun, dun, dun.